What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 3v3 with Sorgol on his Enhancement Shaman and Plum on his Devastation Evoker. This was an interesting comp. We were just kind of running it to get everybody like fully geared. My Paladin is now fully geared, and we were kind of just climbing up a little bit of rating. We started our session at like 1k CR and 2k MMR, and we got it up to 2100 MMR and maybe like 1900 current rating, something like that. So definitely a decent climb. We swapped up comps like midway through, which also helped a little bit. So this first match is against a pretty popular comp, which is Boomkin Mage and a Disc Priest. So they're going to be like pumping out a lot of damage. Kind of surprised that they decided to go for Plum, since he's the one that, you know, has quite a few good defensives. We also have grounding, which is they can help with that. So they do decide to clone Plum there. There's ultimate penitence, and they're going to swap to Sorgol. He does use grounding there. And you can see Plum sleep the druid. I'm just trying to dodge as much CC as I can. You know, a lot of times versus mage, boomkin, and priest, you're just not going to be able to dodge a whole lot of CC because they can spam it. Like, they can spam clone, they can spam poly, and you only have so many ways to stop it. So I do get cloned here, and I have sack available, I have trinket available, and I get root beamed. So I'm actually sitting this root beam. Normally that would be my trinket. Because they overlapped and I got polyed inside the root beam, I did decide to go ahead and trinket there. I sack Sorgol since they are hitting him, and you can see we're actually kind of even on mana. I'm not running Divine Plea in any of these because it just gimps my healing so much versus 2v2 where there's usually only one DPS. I am running Denounce over that, and I think in some of these I was running Searing Glare, but versus Double Caster I usually don't run Searing Glare. I'll run stuff like Divine Vision or something like that. And right here it looks like we get another defensive. I do go ahead and Hodge the Boomkin. He does Dispel him. I thought his Dispel was on cooldown, but apparently it wasn't, because he didn't trinket. His trinket did come back up here. So they do proc Save the Light on Sorgol. I am going to go ahead and burn Bubble here just because I'm worried. So there's a slight overlap between his wall and Bubble. I'm also going to put the Healing Blessing on him since I am just focused on healing him right now. So he's going to be taking increased healing, and he's actually tossing out healing surges himself, so it's kind of double dipping there. Normally I would put that blessing on myself if everybody was kind of taking spread damage, which you'll see in the next match. A comp that does a lot of spread damage. So right here the priest is coming in. He does use Greater Fade, so I couldn't blind him before he feared me, but it looks like the Frozen Orb is going to break me out. We are winning pretty handedly on mana right now. I'm kind of trying to stand on top of the mage to maybe kick something, and we do take him down. So there's the clone. The druid jukes right there at the end. So kind of a tough first match, and we actually did okay with the mana. Notice I'm not running Barrier of Faith in any of these. I'm running Reclamation, and it was actually noticeable in terms of like the mana gain, even though it doesn't give back all that much. It's just everything combined, all the mana regen combined with not running Divine Plea. So this is going to be a lot of spread pressure versus Affliction Warlock Assassination Rogue. This is a pretty popular comp right now. So he did soul swap me, and then I get blinded, so it took the dots off of me. So you see me sit that, which is really, really good. If I can sit a full blind and not have to trinket, because a lot of times that's what I am going to get trinket. So it looks like they're going for Sorgol here. He does bomb. I sacked it, so I'm kind of just telling him, hey, I'm not going to run into the bomb because I have you with Hand of Sacrifice. I'm not running Ultimate Sacrifice in this because if you run Ultimate Sacrifice versus Assassination Affliction, you're just kind of asking for it. Kind of awkward there. I was kind of running in to try and get a little bit of CC on the priest, but I didn't notice he had Spirit Formed. Plum does pop his wall here, and we're all just kind of pulling back. If you want to versus Holy Priest, like what you want to do versus Holy Priest is when they go into that angel form, which this is a bad map for it, but you want to try and pull the DPS out of LOS because he can't move. He's stationary. I'm going to wall here, and it may still be bubble just because everybody is taking damage. You can see the spread damage on every single person. The rogue is using his Shadow Dance right now, so he's going to be getting garrotes on everybody. I do go ahead and burn bubble. I'm going to cast Tears Deliverance in my bubble, and you can see everybody is just rotting. We have no lay on hands, we have no bubble, but I am starting to stabilize. Running behind on mana, but that's to be expected versus this comp because you're just going to be constantly healing. I have the Mana Blessing available, so I probably need to cast that as soon as I can here. So right here, he sends his pet on me because he thinks I'm going to drink, which I was probably thinking about it at the time. There's Guardian form, and we do get the Rogue Low, and we get Swap right before Plum was able to sleep the Holy Priest. So really good. Probably the Rogue is the kill target now. So you can see me trying to like pull him out of LOS of his healer. He realizes this and he runs back. I'm just telling them, okay, we can go ahead and push. There's the blind, so I probably should have trinketed that immediately. You see me trinket late, so that was I should have just immediately trinketed that because there was nothing else that was going to be a really good trinket minus maybe this stun here, but you can see I use Blessing and Protection to get out of it. This is their go. We have grounding down. It looks like they are trying to focus the kill on Sorgol. So they have him garroted, they have all the dots on him, and you can see Plum get the triple oppressive roar. He dispels it off of the priest. I denounce the rogue, and if we can get any kind of CC on that priest while oppressive roar is up, it is really good. But we do end up taking down the rogue, even with the priest having apotheosis up and his spirit form. So we would have ended up losing on mana there, but we ended up pulling it out. So really tough match. You can see just how much spread pressure this comp is. That's why it's so popular right now. And honestly, this was a little sketchy here at the end. It could have, they probably could have gotten the kill here. He does get the fear on me, and it looks like we don't have Tremor available. So, you know, kind of sketchy, but we're going to take down the Warlock right here. And the final match is going to be against a Unholy DK, Holy Priest, and Devastation Evoker. So you see this comp normally ran with a Frost DK, and this is probably one of the most popular Devastation Evoker comps because it's just a really good, like the DK is a really good enabler, and they just like mesh real well, especially with like Oppressive Roar. So what happens is, so normally he grip both the DPS. Normally what you want to do is you want to grip the healer in and get the healer and 1 DPS. If you can get all 3, it's perfect, but you want to get the healer and 1 DPS with the Oppressive Roar, and then make sure you get your full CC chain combined with Strangulate and stuns, etc. And you're going to force the trinket of the healer, pretty much guaranteed, or at least force, you know, some major cooldowns. You can do that every 2 minutes, so if you're the healer, you have to basically trinket that. Like, you don't have a choice, but you can do the setup without the Oppressive Roar in between trinkets, so it's like really powerful. They didn't do that, but it's a really good setup. I think there was even a comp at maybe BlizzCon. It was a Frost DK, I think, that ran it. So right here we have like a ton of pressure, but we are again behind on mana. You can see him grip me in, and I do get stunned, so that's a good combo for them. I do burn Lay on Hands here, and I get strangulated, so much better for them. Plum does go ahead and use Rescue. Really good time to use Rescue there. That was a great heads-up play. Gets me back to the room. I'm going to run in here and cast Tears Deliverance. And it looks like, for the most part, we've stabilized, but we are way behind on mana. Now, he has Holy Ward up. I can't do anything about that unless I just want to hodge into it. So he can run at me, fear me, because I'm super slowed. Can't really do anything about it. I can sack here, but I do get trimmered out. I think I was calling for the trimmer, so I didn't have to burn sack. So I'm slowed behind this pillar, and Sorgol's kind of, you know, they're trying to pull him into a really awkward position. We do get the Lightning Lasso, so my Hodge is going to be DR'd there. We get the DK super low. The Priest does Trinket Swap, and now we're starting to get just crazy pressure. I am getting slowed again, so I'm going to Freedom myself just so I can try and heal Sorgol, because again, they're trying to pull him into a really awkward position. So next CC chain is going to be really scary for them, because the Priest doesn't have Trinket, the DK doesn't have Trinket, the Devastation Evoker does have Trinket. We have Trinket and Bubble available, so really we should be good here. I do use Blessing and Protection because this is the DK's cooldowns. I'm going to top Sorgol here. We do get the full hex, so I'm going to go in and hodge off that hex. They're both getting low, and it looks like we are going to take down the Devastation Evoker. So kind of an interesting comp and some pretty fun games. But yeah, we're going to start hopefully pushing rating here soon. We have everything geared, and we're kind of done with playing Mop Remix. Unfortunately, Elden Ring has come out, and it is really, really fun, but we're still going to be queuing some 3s. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these games. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, all that jazz. Helps me out a ton. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.